Shares mostly gain in Asia after Wall Street hits new records, while oil slips. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Add AP News on Google. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Shares were mostly higher in Asia on Monday after U.S. stocks set more records, powered by strong profits for major companies. U.S. futures were mixed and oil prices slipped slightly after U.S. President Donald Trump said the U.S. would help ships leave the Strait of Hormuz starting on Monday. Iran rejected the plan, but Trump also said talks with Iran could lead to positive outcomes. The price of a barrel of U.S. benchmark crude fell 77 cents to $101.17 a barrel. Brent crude, the international standard, gave up 67 cents to $107.50 a barrel. Much hinges on progress toward ending the war with Iran and unlocking the bottleneck through the Strait of Hormuz. The oil market remains the fulcrum, with hundreds of tankers, bulk carriers, and cargo ships still stranded across the Gulf, idling as storage constraints force producers to shut production simply because there is nowhere left to store it, Stephen Innes of SBI Asset Management said in a commentary. Trump said what he called Project Freedom would begin Monday morning in the Middle East. The U.S. Central Command said it would involve guided missile destroyers, more than 100 aircraft, and 15,000 service members, but the Pentagon did not immediately answer questions about how they would be deployed. In Asian share trading, Hong Kong's Hang Seng jumped 1.5% to 26,173.95. Markets in mainland China and Japan were closed for Golden Week holidays. Read more. Australia's S&P/ASX 200 slipped 0.5% to 8,690.60. Strong buying of tech stocks pushed shares in South Korea sharply higher as the Kospi gained 4.7% to 6,906.36. Samsung Electronics shares surged 4.8%. In Taiwan, the TAIEX leaped 4.6% as shares in computer chipmaker TSMC, the market heavyweight, shot up 6.6%. India's Sensex gained 0.9%. On Friday, the S&P 500 climbed 0.3% to another all-time high of 7,230.12, closing out a fifth straight winning week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dipped 0.3% to 49,499.27, and the Nasdaq Composite added 0.9% to a record close of 25,114.44. Apple led the way after delivering better profit than expected. Because it's one of Wall Street's biggest stocks in terms of overall size, its rally of 3.3% was by far the strongest force lifting the S&P 500. Stock prices generally follow the path of corporate profits over the long term, and U.S. companies have been exceeding expectations for earnings in the first 3 months of 2026. That's even with the war with Iran and high oil prices souring confidence for many U.S. households. A little more than a quarter of the companies in the S&P 500 have reported already, and 84% of them have topped analysts' estimates, according to FactSet. The index is on track to deliver roughly 15% growth in profit from a year earlier. The main uncertainty for the global economy is where oil prices are heading because of the Iran war. Oil prices spurted higher last week on worries that the war might keep the Strait of Hormuz closed for a long time, trapping oil tankers pent up in the Persian Gulf instead.